Hello, and welcome. This is Joanna the Jewel Design, and today we are just doing a quick craft and chat Tuesday afternoon. We are doing, let's say, Tuesday tags. I don't know. We are working on a master board. I have all these scraps left over from the altered book. We are down to scraps, right? We are down to this. This is what I pretty much have left. I think I have a page here and there, maybe. But we're pretty much, I just have a few pages I have to print where I can literally cut and be done, and hopefully I have no more scraps. Oh my gosh. See, scraps. And then I have all like itty bitty scraps and little things, and oh my goodness. So I don't know how much of this will get used. I may just have to finally go breathe and just recycle. But there are some good pieces in here I think we can use, but some decorative, some not so decorative, some very, but yeah. Anyway, thought I'd bring you along today. We do what we probably have all seen us do. If you're new, then no, this is new to you, but we have a tendency of keeping everything. If you're new to the junk journal world and journaling world, we tend to keep everything until the last minute, because you never know. I have a tendency of taking a lot of the strips, usually the skinnier ones, and weaving them inside each other. And so I do a lot of, back and forth weaved work with the skinny stuff. Love doing it. Doesn't mean I always have time for it. But I will get all these little scraps, and when we're cutting something off and we're just barely trimming it. So I do have some of the smaller stuff. I might just leave that for that kind of thing. Or I'll pull from it only if it looks like I am in desperate need of a weird space to fix. But most of what we're doing today is going to be with chunkier pieces that I hope to just rip and tear and get it down. Because this is where we're down to, and I have full pages. I have 3 full page decorative pages that I need to work with. So like, that I got this, I could collage all over it like we've been doing, but I think I need more ephemera than I need covered pages. I can print 3 pieces of paper or 2 pieces of paper and get those last 3 book pages done. And so I don't think, I have enough. And if I do it, then I just got to figure out how to do ephemera. So, oh my gosh, guys. I have the coffee dyed pages. Don't get me wrong. I still have to do those. But coffee dyed. We're going to use this for our continuous into a writing section. So I need decorative, right? Those are coffee dyed. Something I was working on. And decorative. So when this was our continuous, I need a decorative page here that looks good with this. My notes. I need 2 decorative that sort of go with this beige and teal section. So we have more beige and teal to go here. That's coffee dyed, decorative, coffee dyed. I even finished the back, guys. Have you been following me? So we did this one, right? So we got this done. Oh, it's just a journal card. I was like, wait, it's coming apart. So she's all done. I just have to do the work on the ephemera. But see, we have that decorative side. So these, because they were already sort of textured, I inked them messily, but I just did some corner decor. And then this was the last decorative that was just random. Again, this is what I mean by decorative pages, things that are sort of decorated already, have something already placed on them or already collaged. I don't really need to do a lot to them, but they're not a writing space. This is writing, this is writing, this is writing. Coffee dyed pages are writing. Right? Even these could be writing. I could find more pages like this where you have some writing capable on these guys. I could make that somewhat, wherever it is. That's not the one I'm thinking of. This one could be somewhat writing, like it's neutral enough that I could make it writing. That's coffee dyed. Now, these could be neutral because I may have very large, simple journal cards that go in here, like we've done in the past, or or we're gonna make them decorative. So, yeah, I mean, I'm down to like 8 and 16. I'm down to 26 coffee dyed pages, which I will do very quickly with an 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 5 1/4, or 8 by 5 1/4 template, and I'm just gonna cut and distress pretty quickly, so it's pretty consistent top and bottom, and I'm not doing this guesswork like I've been doing. I don't know why I didn't think about that beforehand. I'm like, why didn't I do that before? So almost done. We're really getting there. We did that last week. I threw that down. I finished that. This is clustered. you know, collage that last tidbit from the other side. What I used here, what was left over, ended up being all sort of just worked together to put here. So I'm really happy about that. This was a piece of paper that, again, I cut it, put one half here, one half sideways here, had a leftover piece, blended it in. You know, that's all we're doing. So I feel like I don't want to keep collaging more pages when they're, you know, they're digitally collaged, right? So, yeah, we're almost done. Look at this, guys. This is just, and like I said, these are put together, but I have 8, 8, and 10 book pages that need to be covered in coffee dyed. Oh, that will be my last, like, major push. So, thought today I have some parchment-like cardstock. That is a little thicker, right? Because we need our journal cards and our journal tags to be, you know, hardy. Because we don't want them to come apart. So, yeah. Like, oh, let's see what's that. We have a lot of little pieces. I always have little pieces. I always have itty bitty pieces I cannot force myself to get rid of. I don't know why. All right, but I'm going to get better. Like, if it's just like this little stuff, if it doesn't blend in, blend down, I'm so removing it, right? Just go bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. I'm not keeping every little piece. I really am not. I'm going to try to be a good girl. So, there is no rhyme or reason to this, is the sad part. There's just so many pieces I have left over. I am trying to, this was the last of this one, this last set, right? So they're sort of long and lengthy. I think I'm going to put off to the side because they are great for doing weaved journal cards. I do have some cardstock that maybe I'll weave something over. I printed 2 pages by accident on cardstock. Forgot what I was doing. And which direction I was going in. I was like, oh man. And so I was like, well, I guess I have more pages. I do have some book pages I can work with and put them in place, which is sort of funny when we're covering up book pages constantly, right? And we go ahead and then use them. So these are all great. You know, the only downside is the white on the edge, and maybe if we overlap it just right or whatever, it'll take care of its problems. So let's see. I just don't even know where to go with it, where to start with it. Sometimes it's nice to glue a little bit beyond what we see. That way, we are not, what's the word? You know, we have a nice clean edge that we don't have to worry about. I'm trying to find different things that maybe work with and see how things sort of pan out. Like, it's beyond, it's beyond, it's beyond. So what we'll do is we'll cut across the backside. And I'm just debating, like, do I not care? Or do I just run with it? That's a hard part. Even for this, I had the hardest time just running with it. Running with the bowls, no. I'll have to do some, whatever you want to call it. We do want to make sure that we have big enough pieces here that, that go across here, so that it will help keep this together. Now we'll probably cut it down the middle here, where I can get maybe 3 tags large here, and I want 1 half page and maybe 2 smaller or medium journal cards here. So we're only looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 pieces. I mean, I need some large ones, but I think I'm going to start putting some papers, some antique papers, printed or on cardstock or cover on coffee dye. We're going to put some in, but I probably need 1 more large journal card, and then 2 medium square ones, and then I think maybe 3 of the journal tags might be helpful. Might, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping. Almost doable. Great, I don't want that. I don't mind this. Parts of me doesn't really care if there's weird shapes. I can either cover it up. Now, normally when you do this, you put it down, you go to the next one, you put it down, you go to the next one. You really don't stop and start and do what I'm doing, where I'm sort of layering it in. You just glue it down and keep going. But some of these pages are really good as, like, that's really good underneath. Not so much on top, which I hate, though, to lose that whole corner, right? But I don't want too much of the up and down, back and forth, whatever. And some of these aren't the right width, then I always feel they should overlap or under overlap each other a little bit. Otherwise, it doesn't really work. There's a line here I'm going to have to erase, but otherwise. I feel like that I could do and be okay with. I'd be happy with it. That's why I don't do what I do the first time out. I do way too much prep, even for a scrappy. I'm also trying to make sure I get enough all the way across that I'm really utilizing everything I have. I don't want a cute piece. Let's not worry about this. There's some things I'm like, yeah, no, that's just a really weird spot. But this wouldn't be bad across the middle because it would definitely keep, when we do cut this in half, I want to make sure that we don't have too small of a piece that we can't figure out how to utilize it. So that can go there. Let's go, a lot of triangles, I guess, for all those weird spots that we had, huh? This one's a good thing to put underneath here. This can go here. I am using quite a few decorative pieces, not too many light pieces at the moment. I want to make sure that we have a good shot at. So the only thing I have to do right now is I realize, it's okay if it's white torn, I think. I just don't want white print. Like this needs to be somehow covered. So I either, let's see. That one I'm going to have to cover, but this one needs some work. Look at that, it's upside down, but we don't know if it's going to stay that way. That could end up being very different. Okay, so let's not maybe leave it so. There we go. I'm like, yeah, maybe. It's a good size piece. I wonder if we could go this way with it. I see. See, once I get going, you see potential and you really want to utilize it. You don't want to. I'm daring. No more trimming and cutting until the end. I don't want to cut anything until I know until the end, where I'm like, I'm trimming off the excess, but I don't want to do much of anything else. Now I do have another piece that I know this is where I have little pieces for sure. See, I have a small piece here that will work over there, right? Now, because this is a master board, I know we were doing collaging last time, and we were definitely inking what we were laying out because, well, it felt like that we needed to. When here, this time around, I feel that it's not as necessary. That's a lot. We're getting to a lot of little pieces, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. So let's see if we can get another big piece in here. Could be neutral. It doesn't have to be. Let me get it underneath neutral-ish. If I get too much in here, I'm not going to be able to pull this up and figure out how to put it back down, but it's not bad. There's some fun interacting there. I like. And then there's a gap here, right? And that's where it gets a little bit where you do have to just start laying stuff down and seeing what covers. That would be the only downside, but this side looks like it's going to get a little on the small side. We got a lot of little pieces. More than I might like, but it has potential. So for the most part, that's all covered. And then I have I have plenty of other pieces still to go. So let's start working on that. So I don't get you guys aren't so far out there. Well, aren't you doing anything yet? Are you gonna work on it? Yeah, trying. So you try not to move too much. I sort of had it nicely worked on, don't I? But how are we all doing? It's, I guess, Tuesday afternoon. It's cooling off, which is nice. At least only low 80s this week. Thank God, after last week, my girls could use a little, we were not too warm, thankfully, the night of the day of Saturday for practice, because we were trying to fit kids for uniforms, and that's never fun when they come off the field. And they were warm, don't get me wrong. They were warm. It was sort of a bummer. We're like, oh, that's fun. Let me put a sticky child into a uniform. I'm all so much fun. Yeah, no, but it's all right. We did our best. We did good. So this is probably not going back up the way we thought. It just isn't. I don't know. I now see why we sort of do what we do when we do it, because, you're working your way up and down and underneath, and some of these things don't, though, definitely need to be underneath and not on top. They're just not pretty enough to be something on top. It's not this is my top page, right? So I'm not going to want, and this one, need to be underneath because I didn't want to cut that page. Like, there's just stuff like that, you know? And hope that you didn't go too far under or over so that... So you do one of two ways. Some will have like a glue book of some sort, where they have an old book that they just use the top page as something that you can glue over. And will, you know, glue the paper, put glue on the back of the paper, and then bring it over and place it exactly where they want it. I have a tendency of putting it wherever I need it. Like, you can get a dry wet wipe, one of our favorite things. I don't know if I have one, to help wipe off glue, because you get that excess glue and like, well, I know I'm not putting anything up there, so I don't really feel like leaving the glue up there, right? So it does get, in case your hands start getting dirty, you can just use a dry wet wipe, a wet one dry, and just sort of wipe off the thing. But it did sort of smear that weirdly. Alright, so there's that. Where is my eraser in this mess? Oh man. Well, I was like, I need the eraser somewhere, but that's alright. Okay, so we figured we needed this one over here. But see, I have a plastic placemat underneath me, so that it's really easy for me to go wash it later if I need to. And I'm letting it sort of lap over to do whatever I need. We definitely know we want this one, so that will tell me. Now, what you could do this with magazine pages side by side in a book. You can do this. So this one's coming in here, I think. Is that what we decided to do? Right. Is that what we decided to do? Probably not. This one was supposed to be here. And so I had this. No, yeah, this one up under here. But this is what made up some space. Okay. I'm like, wait, no. I had something else going on here. Like, wait, I remember. So we have this, so I can move that over more, but still not, we don't want it too far over. I want it to overlap a little bit. What I'm trying to avoid is having too much of just an itty bitty piece of paper barely on the edge of your ephemera, because what happens is you end up with, I think I'm going to move it over quite a bit. You end up with a lot of itty bitty pieces that don't quite stay down, or they end up with being loose, which is never fun. I personally try not to. If I know, some pages don't really matter. You are going to cover front and back. In this case, I use a piece of paper because I don't have that much scraps. I am not, what's the word? I am not, I don't want to create any more scraps, and I'm not using a lot of, sorry, let me think, copy dye papers. Some will do like magazine pages and things like that, where you have to copy front and back. You have to cover front and back, not copy, cover. And so doesn't really matter where these line up, where these end up on this folded paper, which I just realized I have to open that up, because you are sealing both sides of this continuous piece of paper with paper. So the other side might take care of your problem, and you might not need to worry about where this lands, where some of these papers land, when you go to cut it. I'm going to cut right down the inside of this, and I'm not covering the back. It is a nice parchment paper. I don't feel I need to cover it. We can write around the back of it. I just ink the edges a little bit. I am looking for my eraser, because I wanted to I'm sort of pressing down to see if I wonder if I took it inside. Of course I would have. I wanted to cover, not cover, I wanted to erase some of the pencil marks so I don't feel like, okay. Anything coming up that I feel is not staying down, is not behaving itself, I can just go back and use glitter glue to get those little edges, those little bits, really make sure everything is sealed. And once we do cut it, we may decide that, yes, certain pieces have to be reinforced. Not much we can do about it. Okay, so I had this up on all underneath this, I just realized, which I can't do now. See, that's only a downside. Where we start layering it on top because we don't really have a choice. And I don't like that look. Or further. Of course, it went down. The one time I don't want my glitter glue to, I mean my thing to actually do its job. Okay, well, let's get this in place. I knew it was over here. I wanted that over that too. Yep. Okay. If I do what I want to do, maybe. I guess I could do it like I do with everything else. I'm going to piecemeal this stuff. It has to go there. Okay, it has to go there. This can go... I mean, this one is at least torn a little bit, so I'm not as, like, ugh, about it. Right? This one is not, but... there's not much I can do about it. I keep leaving the top open as I'm going from one thing to the next, so it's not working very well. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all crafting and enjoying your time as summer is slowly creeping away, right? It is slowly going away. I don't know, we'll hope for continued good weather so that we all can enjoy it, but not be overwhelmed by it. I would like to enjoy the rest of the weather, not be all, hot, can't stand it. We'll be worrying about, you know, what's the word? Heat stroke every time we turn around. Let's see, what is this? Tuesday. So yeah, we're pretty quiet. The weekend was good enough. We got through I think most of the uniforms. I mean, there's still a lot, but I think we have a slightly smaller group this year in the band than we had last year. So, you know, that makes a difference when you don't have as many kids, or they've shifted over, or, you know, I don't know how many graduated band was. I know we only had a few graduate out of the color guard, so a lot of them, you know, did come back, but that's a different uniform altogether. So, and then I don't know. Ooh, I wonder if, let's see, this pink one's sort of good, and then we could always just do something decorative right there. There we go. It's bound to be somewhere. Yeah, let's just do that. I don't mind that. And if it gets weird, like if it seems like it's weird, we can always, then when you decorate your thing, your master boards, when you've cut them down into ephemera, then it does allow you to see when it's cut down. You're like, oh, there's a great spot to do this, that, and the other thing. And I just realized, oh well, that this might go this way on its side. I'm like, well, it is what it is. And I need to bring it up a little bit. I just realized I need a little higher. There we go. 2 seconds when it's glitter glue, but hey, yep. All right, ta-da! We got the first half done. I think. I'm like, I think, right? And I may just have to. It's hard when you are using the big pieces first, and you're like trying to figure out where to put it, and then you're like, oh, but I want to tuck stuff under it to cover or tweak or work. So even me. Okay, so I do have it slightly glued together in a couple spots, so it does help. I think I have some right here. All right, so we were thinking something where I don't have too much. I know it's upside down, but I'm trying to avoid the white. I wanted to put this under here, up somewhere, right? I wonder if upside down and backwards might be safer, just in case. We'll do that. We wanted this one up here, so there's that huge gap. Got a bunny butt. Don't know if I want to do that. I don't know, maybe not the bunny part. Maybe half the bunny part. But then I gotta put something else. Well, if we do it right, no one's really gonna know. Do it right is just some color. We could even go underneath. So we could do that, and that would not make it too obvious to what that is. We'll never know. Cut it down the middle. No one's gonna know what we're doing. Okay, so let's, hate to do it, but it is really a huge chunk of, you know, his hindquarters that is not something cute that I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to be able to see that. So not the case. Can you see it? Yes, okay. I was like, wait a minute, where's the rest of it? All right, there's go there. And let's get this one sort of glued here. For the most part, I'm doing not all the way, but I'm trying to connect so that we feel that, you know, a majority of what we need is sort of connected, but I'm still leaving open space until the last second. So there we go. I'm figuring it out. We will glue here. Oh, I see there's a gap. There's a gap up there. Shoot. Let's see. Not too bad. Yeah, it shifted when we were gluing it, and there's not a thing I can do about it. That's okay. I do it with my happy planner too sometimes. I'm like, man. Now this one I do not need anything coming up underneath it, so I am definitely going to glue it down. I want it on top. I want things on top of this one, not underneath it, so that makes it for an easy connection. It's just whether or not I want something under here. This I want on top. I just don't know what I'm sticking underneath it. I have a feeling there's going to be some stuff that's going to go up underneath it. Now this is potentially a large one this way. So right now, when it's cut in half, this is the right direction. This is sideways upside down. These two could be on their sides, not a big deal. Like the idea of the box. Again, sort of up underneath. I'm gonna have to tear that a little bit. I think I'm like, I really want to be able to see this accordingly, so I can't do that if I leave it a certain way. Again, we'll trim it off the top, not a big deal. So I wanted to see that flower, but well, it's okay. We have this that we didn't use earlier. We can get this up over here. We can get this maybe both ways. Yeah, now if anything I'd pull off, it is definitely going into the trash. So not keeping this, any more of this. Under, over. I don't want to take any more chances. We're going to go over with it. All right, so I definitely know that this one is going here underneath all the way. I cover a spot that I think we need to cover. I'm going to tuck that in as best I can. I'm going to eyeball this, make sure it's clear, and that we get something going here. Pick it up. Didn't mean to line these two up, but sometimes it happens. There's not much you can do about it. You get going, you're like, oh, that should have been offset, but at this point, I want it down. So as we're going, I'm finding corners that need to line up. So this is here. That meant to be on top. All right, here we go again. I could cover this all with mesh when I was done, and flowers or whatever I want, and no one's gonna know what the mess I have underneath it, right? That is sort of the fun part of a lovely scrap masterboard. You're just like, and in the end, I don't even know if we're gonna use enough. I have a feeling I'm still gonna have things. So I can, you know, really fill it with little pieces and just get rid of all this little stuff, right? I can break things up, I can do whatever. Sorry, man, the amount of glue we end up with our fingers, no matter how hard I try. I do feel like we could, a little bit of a tearing we could overlap over here. maybe tear something off. I was trying to see if I could get that up into that crevice up there. But then it just, yeah, that didn't work in my favor. Not at all. It can come down. I can go there. This is very blue in the sense of everything that we're working with. It's ended up being a very teal, beige, and green. So I can use parts of it. I just can't use everything. I feel like there's too much of this and I may want to put that somewhere else. So maybe not. Maybe not. This could be something small and easy. That might just cover a couple of things that I need taken care of. Almost, huh? Let's go on its side. Oh, maybe almost. I was trying to see if I could. Aha, maybe. Almost. I can always trim off, I guess. If some things just get too obvious, we're going to be trimming for sure. I was just trying to see if I could get two different things covered and still get everything where I wanted it to be. Very carefully. Everything is on the edge of the next thing. Well, everything is on the edge of the next. Because we do have things that are showing up and, you know. Oh, I guess there's not much. Yeah, but this is just sort of all I've got going. I am had a crazy morning of phone calls and emails again, and finally got the tuition amount figured out. The last scholarship finally said, "Oh yeah, we got it. It'll process end of the week." And I'm like, "All right, so then I'm only paying this. This is all I'm paying. You have the rest." I don't want to hear it. That's, oh, I just am getting to a point where I'm getting tired of being abused. People are just like, well, whatever. And you're like, no, I need specifics. I need a invoice. I need a details. I want to make sure that A, B, and A plus B equals C. I'm tired of A and B not equaling, or someone not having the right information. And it shouldn't have been A plus B. It should have been A plus C to equal D. I don't know, something. Yeah, it's been crazy the past couple of years, and I'm just sort of done. I'm like, no, I'm tired of wasting money or spending it when I didn't need to. Spent it for this, that, and the other thing, and only to come find out later going, oh, well, you qualified for this, or we should have done that. And you're like, and you just now thought of that? Thanks. Really appreciate the heads up. So, no, finally got it all situated. So I'm very happy about that. I feel like we're on the same page, and it's only costing us a couple $1,000s this first semester. And with grateful family members, we got a lot of cash and Visa cards for all of our supplies. So, like, her first art class is taken care of. The rest of the books are all online, so I don't have to buy any of that. And yeah, so I'm very, very thankful for all of that. So I mean, we could do beige on. Well, I could do beige to break it up, which is funny. I mean, there's beige underneath it, so why would we do that? But I just glued that down, didn't I? Oh, I keep doing this. Okay, and we're just gonna tear at it, I guess. I'm like, I keep putting something down, which is what I was afraid of, and then I end up not, then I need to do something about it, and I'm like, really? A lot of weird little strips, which I'm gonna have to be careful right now. So I'm worried about all this little stuff because we're gonna cut this about in half, and I may have to decide, like, all right, guys, we're gonna go right across this very obvious line up here. There may be a very clean cut line right here that we're gonna also cut on. If that will fit. If that'll fit in a pocket, we may go right along that line when we cut it, so that we're not only cutting here, we're cutting here. So I don't have these itty bitty pieces doing weird things. Now, I've got more green I could go up with, or let's see. I could do that. I've got that. And I have that. So maybe I gotta tear a little bit of the, it's almost white and almost blends in, but it's just a little whiter than the rest, so you can sort of tell that, okay, that can go, so I would love for that to go up there and not have to worry about it, but then I think we need a very, I need a piece somewhere that's gonna be why am I doing this the hard way? Here. let's just go across here. Like, I have strips. Why am I doing this the hard way? Because I love doing things the hard way. It is like my motto. I swear, if it can be done the hard way, I could probably figure out how to do it. If it can be done the hard way, I can do it. I feel bad. I think my daughter's the same way with her math. Like, she'll get the answer, but probably not the way they taught it to her, but like some weird contraption, some weird way of doing it. And it's only going to make it harder because it doesn't fit like the pattern. So you can solve it the same way every time. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know. I think that's why math was always so hard, because you didn't solve it the way you would think you would solve it. And, you know, so it only made things more dramatic, more complicated. And so I'm wondering if she's doing the same thing. And I'm like, you can get through algebra. But she's like, well, I got the answer. She goes, I'm just not sure how I got the answer. She goes, they gave us the answer. We just had to show her work how we got there. And she's like, I got there, but I'm not sure it's how she wants me to get there. I was like, okay. Hopefully you did your math right, and that's why you got that answer. Oh, poor thing. She's struggling just a little. Teacher was cool, but I don't know if the teacher may have done them some disadvantages. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I still have scraps. Now, these are decent ones. These I don't mind using or keeping. These I'm checking these. Oh my gosh, I'm checking. I don't want to keep all these itty bitty I don't know what's. That's sort of a fun piece. Okay, so I'm only keeping that. Nope, I'm going to be a good girl, throw it away. Now, these are great to stamp on, so I hate copy dyed papers. You ever have anything left over, a scrap, something, don't be afraid to keep it. You have stamps that you love. Use a vintage vintage photo paper, ink, I mean, and this is very itty bitty right here. Holy moly. Don't be afraid to... I'm chucking people. No, that's almost a perfect square. That might be useful. Don't be afraid to throw it away. Don't be afraid to... Oh, your coffee dyed. Don't. Sorry. Too many things. Coffee dyed papers. Don't throw them away. Take your stamps. Find your favorite botanical. Sorry for my reach. I have a bunch of these tall, skinny ones and a couple of little wide, round ones. And these are great, especially on the lighter side, to go and do... And then you cut them out later, and you can, you know, I have two of these, and I'm just putting them side by side. But see, stamp, and then you can cut. You can keep them like that. You can cut them skinny. They become great embellishments. Lorette does this all the time with a lot of her, you know, stuff. I did it myself. Sometimes I just do a really random pattern across all of it, and you know, you can belly band it. You can just decorate up however you want. So coffee dyed strips are never a bad thing. They become number of elements that we can use later. So those never go to waste. But this stuff is a little harder. This, when you have all these other pieces, you're just like, I have all these other strips. Now that's the end of a tab. It's sort of weird. I don't know why it's a double tab. But that could have some fun implications if you do it right when you fold it. I don't know. Me and my... Find weird shapes and see what you can do with it. Yeah. All right, put that away. I put that in my other stash. I do have a lot of strips over here, long skinny ones, that I feel probably could be used in a different way. So, and not too bad. This is all I have that's actually printed. There's a little bit of coffee dye, but it's a square. So this is all I have left. This isn't bad. This could help me decorate if I felt I had a dead spot or it's something too light. I've got this, and I still have all of this. I still have all these little bitty scraps, and this is where I'll have to decide how much of it I'm really keeping, how much more. It's a pink one. That doesn't even belong over here. That's blue paper. Yeah, some of this may just become part of my everyday scraps. You know, and I'm decorating with them, but we're almost there. I'm feeling like this could almost go in a bag, but it all goes with this stuff, but it's my botanical, so it can actually go in any kit I want at any time. So I'm looking forward to that. So now we need to do the back side, or cut. We need to now trim it the best we can and see what we end up with, right? Let's see, I'm going to go along this one. I know it's going to get caught. at some point. And we're able to see where we don't have any glue from underneath that we now need to redo. That's okay. Now I will fine tune this when we get going. I will square things off when we go to cut. But right now, so that's our first one. And this side technically was gonna be 3 tall but sort of skinny tags, right? Tallest tags, because I believe I have some good sized pockets. Now, normally I would do this and I would start measuring out all the size pockets that I need before I cut anything, so I don't end up with big pages, but big pieces that I don't need. Because sometimes you'll cut according to what you do. I give huge props. Gail did a scrappy, I think her last Saturday scrap, or last 2 scrappy Saturdays. She has done these sheets, and she has cut her big old 12 by 12 sheets or whatever it was into 6, you know, longer tags, and where they let, you know, she turns it upside down, she cuts it by her size, and she's done. It is what it is, right? And here I'm like, what can I do? Like, what do I see? And I can't help myself. All right, and then on this side, technically this was the way. Now, one of them was potentially going to be a large journal card this way, very collaged, has some room down here for a label, some decor, a cluster, even though it is on the bottom, you know. If and it does sort of work, because then I have here, wherever we cut the halfway mark, I have 2 large journal cards, and these are pretty neutral, where I definitely could, you know, decorate them up and not have to worry about it. So I don't think we did too bad. I think we did all right, even though this one might be, these are sort of on their sides for the bottom and top of the tag. I'm okay with that. I think we're gonna be all right. So right now, this thing is reinforcing anything we see, obviously, that isn't going to get cut off, to make sure we aren't doing with anything too loose, at least right off the bat. It's nice to try to reinforce as much as you can at first, because I think it makes it a little easier when you we do go to cut. You're not catching something that is, you know, what's it called? I don't know, just getting in the way. Sometimes just putting glue on the edges and wiping it in, sort of like Mod Podge, helps seal things. Not good for your fingers, but you know. I'm just sort of catching stuff and seeing. I have a few where I know later down the line I go to deal with an old ephemera that came from a, oh gosh, tiny little piece, oh, I don't know. Came from an older master board, and I'm like, what happened to that? All right, so let's look. Let's see what we have. Because I knew in some of the newer stuff, we were definitely dealing with, you know, large things. And I know I have stuff throughout this whole book that needs to be worked on. I could keep filling the front, because these were great, and I have a few more. I think I have some more pages that I could put on copy to paper, and I have 2 more pockets that actually are just like this, so I might save that when we go back here. Remember, we have these guys right here, they're decorative, so they need sort of that sewn. I have more music page, I have another sheet of music page journal pages, and so those I may make 2 more of those brown ones that are sewn to go in here. So I think I just took care of that. These 2 already taken care of. Yeah, these music pages are great. Some I just put on cardstock, some I put on brown packing paper and sewed them up together and put them in. So I did one of 2 things. This one has one in it. No, yes. What did I? It is, I think. Yeah, this one has one in it already. Okay, good. I realized I ended up keeping that in there. So there's a lot of things in here, guys, that you're going to have to definitely look to see if there's something tucked in and hidden. But back here, this is going to be an antique paper. I've got something there. So this needs something. So one of the tags would be cool in there. Copy dyed papers. There is some room. There's 2 in here already. There's definitely a few spots that may have some room to maneuver. There's something there. There's something there. I think I took care of the front. I was getting into this middle section back here that I was like, well, those have 2 little things in there. That has something in it. That has a piece of paper in it. Oops, that one gets caught. I did put some cute little things in here. There is one in here. That's going to be a piece of paper. That has a card in it. So I need one here. So I need 1 tag here for sure. So guys, let's write it down. Let's not get all confused here. So we need 1 large tag. Okay. For sure so far. I gotta remember where I was going to say I was going to put it, right? All right, those are there. That has its pieces already. She could use a medium square if I wanted to. One of the medium squares, one, we'll say medium journal card because it's a standard journal card. It's about the same size as this. I think it's actually a little bit bigger. So I might put this one in here and put the other bigger one in here. I just sort of like the green up there. That one has something in it. That's writing. Those two are already taken care of. This needs something. So this could be either a large tag or a large journal card. So I could go either one, but we'll say large journal tag, maybe. If it finds out it's too small, we'll put it elsewhere. Because actually this needs, what did I say, square journal card. I need one square journal card, one rectangle, and one horizontal. Perfect square. Because I need to do a long tag this way, almost a square here, and a long something here. Now, I could put paper in here. If I decide I wanted to put paper in here instead. I know I need a journal card and something tuckable here. Yeah, I need a lot of little stuff. This one, oh, this one's gonna be paper. That's right. So this is a large journal card. So all three large journal cards I think are taken. I have a square one here and a rectangle here. So I need one square, one rectangle. Okay. I'm gonna have to see what's left over that may either get tucked here. This one is cute. Something little could get tucked in here. So if I do make some kind of weaved masterboard, mini weaved masterboard, they may go in here into this type of thing. That's a piece of paper. This one already has her 2 cards inside, 1 outside. This does need something over here though. So if I have something left over, so I don't think it's going to go very far. It's not going to take very long. I think the reason I didn't use this one here is because it sticks out. It sticks out right here on the edge. And I don't know if I wanted to stick out. It is there, but I think it interferes with that. And so I'm sort of bummed about that. I did put some lace, but yeah, it doesn't fit that way. So far I've left it here, but it's sort of lackluster for the amount of space, right? We do have a lot of space there, and that's it. So I think my original sort of thought process is probably, oh, I didn't need any big ones, huh? Did I need any large ones? I didn't, did I? Because I'm going to put paper in there. I need sort of a skinny one, but not a super large one. This one is, they're more narrow. So the full-size pages that I was talking about, like this one half size, really would go in here. And since I have other pages to go in there that I haven't done, I think we're going to do tags in small. I don't think we're going to do anything super big. So I'm actually going to change the direction of this one. This one, I think we're going to cut it in half. But then I'm going to go like square and 2 rectangles and 2 large squares. I think this one's going to get cut down some. I see the potential of sort of squarish here for one, and then maybe 2 rectangles can come out of this one and 2 large ones out of this one. Oh, I'm going to do this and cross my fingers that they fit because I'm not measuring. I think last time I did a masterboard, I did a lot of measuring to make sure it would fit. And I'm a little hesitant right now. Let's see. Let's get it in here and see what happens. Yeah, I'm not doing a masterboard just for generic, whatever fits kind of deal. I actually have a purpose. It's going in something very specifically. And so let's make sure this is not, come on. Make sure it's as straight as we can get it. Everything you work on, you want it pretty straight because every time you put it up against the board, you want to make sure that it is clean. I am cutting up a little bit of the backing because I really want to make sure that we catch everything. And then I don't really have many spots where I end up with, you know, no. That's a big difference. Well, okay. Yeah, and it just may not be. Remember, we cut it a little sideways because of the fact that things were not as straight as we were hoping. And I'm not even looking at those pieces. They're all going into the trash. Okay. Beautiful. So now, I guess I need to measure a little. I'm so hesitant to do anything without measuring a little, right? I think my biggest thing are the new ones back here. This tag would be great to know what would fit in here. I did make it a little tighter. So 12 to 5 is not even that. I have like 6 inches. 6-inch tag or journal card would fit in here only. This does go all the way down and it goes all the way over. So I really do have, it's 4.5 inches, easily 4.5 inches wide if I wanted to. and that's 7.5 inches tall. But these guys, I would love to be more square. And that is at 4 inches, and we know it floats. And if I put in here, 4x4 would float, and you wouldn't see any of this here. Like you wouldn't, 4x4 would hide this. So 3x4 tucks in, and you can still see what's behind it. And I think, yeah, I'm doing that backwards, I know. We're sort of the same thing. We're going, you know, 4.5 inches. This one can go 4.5 inches, but I did cut it up short. I did glue it down. So 2.5 deep by 4.5 wide. So that's why I'm wondering if those on the bottom are going to work. So if I want to do here and make them, see, only 4 deep this way, but I got to be careful. So let's see, what's the halfway point? Like how long is this one? It is a full, well, not even quite a full 11. I hate this. There's this weird, it goes 10 inches and then, let's see if it fits in this spot right here. 8.5 by 11. Pretty close. 8.5 by 11 is this length. It's 11 this way. So half is 5.5. So let's just do it. And we're just, if I have to trim a little off, like I see there's spots up here, so be it, right? Okay. Wow, I did not want to cut. I know the blade is a little wonky on this one. So see, there's a huge gap here where when we were gluing things down, we did not glue all of it because we were sort of overlapping things and I didn't catch all of it. That's okay. We're going to do it now because I think we were laying stuff down and I was worried about edges so that things didn't move. I didn't think about, well, I knew about underneath, but I didn't, you know, didn't really get all of it, and that's okay. We can do it now. All right, so now this is the one I think hopefully we can just cut it in half this way, and I've got 2 perfect cards that will fit somewhere, but I want to make sure before I do it because once I cut it, if I needed 3 spots instead of 2 out of it, I want to be able to do that. So this one on the other hand, now I said they're both 3 on one way, 4.5 by 3 and 4.5 by 2.5. So let's see here, 4.5 here gives me the height of that one, but I can only go 3 or something this way, which does leave me a cute skinny that could go somewhere else. And I think this is 8 inches, 8.5. So 4 1/8 each. That would be the halfway mark, 4 1/8. And that would give me, I don't have to, I'm going to go 4.5 for the top one. Why did I feel it's too big? I'm getting my numbers confused. I did so many numbers this weekend. I really thought I'd keep it all straight. No. So there's, okay, this one up. So down here I can go 4.5 wide for the skinny one, but only 2.5 deep. So that's the bottom. So I do need 4.5 this way, but I don't need 4.5 on the top. So let's swap that. Let's do it this way. We're going to go these bottom rectangles. All right, so that's going to be a square, and I'm going to work that. But I only need 2 inches. What do we say, 2.5 to fit in there? So we're going to go this way. And this one's going to be fun to decorate. We can tuck in the white around the corners. I guess I'm going to have plan B here. See, nice and white, very contrasty. That can get tucked in. We can decorate a little bit more here. All we have to do is ink here. Look, it's a writing space. That needs to be glued down. It's a perfect writing space on the front and back of this journal card. Isn't that? Yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. Something very decorative on one end, and we round the corners. We decorate where there's already layers where it's gonna be sticking out. I hate decorating journal cards that are where they're gonna get tucked in. But it's my favorite thing. I love to what's the word? Decorate on the bottom up. I designed bottom up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it doesn't help. All right, so here, this one's perfect. All we have to do, round the corners, ink this up, and we have the perfect spot right here to decorate. This one, I can go low with it, but I don't think that was it, so I think it's going to be the other one. Okay, so this, I believe, can go in one of 2 ways. We can put it here, or I can put it up under here. It does cover up a lot of stuff, but that has a fun piece up under here. that we weren't expecting. So that goes way up there. So we can just decorate lace across the bottom, pull it down, ink a lot of things, maybe put something flat up here floral wise, but I think it has the potential to stay right there. Now, unless I find a better spot, something comes up that I need, that's going to stay right there. Okay, beautiful, loving it. Perfect, perfect. Okay, 1 down, 2 down. This one. Now you, on the other hand, I can do this one of 2 ways. I can keep it upright, piano, and I thought about only 3 deep because I didn't want it to overlap here too much. So even 3.5 at most. So 3.5 inches from here stops right here. I love it. Leaves me another strip for somewhere else. Woohoo, I'm loving it. All right, and these are very contrast. These are very wider, brighter, a different feel than the pockets themselves, so you can see them, because I'm having a lot of things where I don't realize. I'm looking back and going, oh, there's something in that. I don't even realize it. So until I can decorate it, I don't even realize that I have something tucked into that pocket. Isn't that silly? I was like, oh, because everything is collage on top of collage, and that's what it is. It is a Floral Collage Altered book. It is not, see, so we go here, decorate up here. Again, a lot of things I think are going to be rounded corners, but we have it here, and then I need a big one to go in the back. So this page underneath, I think, is going to be our 3 journal tags, and we're going to have 1 back here. So we do need 1 journal card back here. Okay, so there's those 2. There's 1 here. There's this little piece left over. I can put it here, very neutral, and we can actually put a tag on it, or a tab on it, so you know to pull it up either direction, and we can do a little lace and a tab, and that can stick out there. So we're going to leave that there. That's going to be a piece of paper that is covered. All right, that could use more. So I say 3 tags, but I'm not sure why I said 3 tags now. 1 something needs to go there, 1 tag needs to go there. That would need a tag, but I think that's not going to work. Those 2 are getting their things potentially over here. Okay, so let's do one of these guys. If I cut it in half, 4 1/4 halfway, it's a nice size journal card that can work in here, I think. So we can do that for sure. Let's make sure we are definitely back a little shy of 8.5, because I did notice that this isn't a perfect cut over here. Got a little wonky. It happens. It's all right. But okay, so we go back there. 8 3/8. Like, okay, so we're gonna go 4 1/4 on one, and whatever the other one does, it's fine with me. I'm like, whatever one works best is what goes in there, right? I see more gluing. Whoops, lost my glue. Here we go, master boards, and then sort of cutting them down and finding places to put them. You know, the sizes that we absolutely need. And then, of course, whatever's left over, we're finding those cute little places to tuck them into. I don't know if every pocket's going to have something, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to do the best I can. Because then, you know, you got the ephemera for it, and then you have to decorate the ephemera that's going in it. Can't have it blank. Well, some can be neutral. We will have neutral pieces, but things like this I feel like need, where we can, need more, need inking, cornering, layers, you know, to make it work. All right, so I know the bunny, no, the bunny's not on that one. So this one will go elsewhere, but I think this is the one I want here. I like the look of it, at least. So how does that fit? Nicely. It does fit a little up and over. And then you've had this one up here. So it's definitely full. You got a tuck, you got a light journal, a heavier journal card, a journal tag. You flip this open with after the, you know, flip that open, you have this little writing space. The hidden paper clip keeps that in place. And that helps keep this hidden message paper, hidden writing page by paperclip. Take the paperclip off and this thing opens up and you can write on it. This has something tucked inside it. So there are 14 other videos to this. This is all part of a Floral Collage Altered book journal series. So there are like 14, 15 other videos if you wanted to see how some of these pages and interactions, and you know, this was opened up and how that was created with papers. And most of the time I'm trying to use book page. A few times a book page comes out and gets glued back in, hidden in some manner, because I had extra pages. But most of the time I'm trying to cover and or cut journal, book pages apart, cut them down the side, glue them together, cut them across the top, cover them up, and make the most of the book page, so that it is a base and it is, but it's decorated in some fashion, I hope. And nothing else is covered in coffee dyed paper. Okay, so that one's fine. That one has something now. That's covered. Those are the two. This one doesn't have anything. So we can do this either way, either direction. This works nicely, beautifully. Definitely want to decorate up here so it stands out, right? That stands out. And if we covered it just right, actually, you wouldn't know there's upside down writing, and you wouldn't know that there's a floof of fur there. We can work that in. So I'll do it this way so we can see it. But there we go. There's that one. Are we doing it, ladies and gentlemen? Are we getting it? Paper. Oh, this is okay. That's what the 3 tags are. So that's one of my tags. There's one journal card tag. We aren't doing one here because it doesn't fit. We've got one back here, and I might be able to put one in here then, because I don't think I have another spot. I think that's it. Oh, maybe one back here. I may decide that there's something better. Like maybe this goes here. I like that one better. And let's put a journal card back here because it is just a big pocket, and not having a large journal tag back there just doesn't make any sense. So we'll start with this one. We have 2 of these cornered ones to work with, and a third one in the middle. And I think we're gonna, by Jove, we have it. That hits the ground. My poor, let's see, I don't really have a perfectly straight edge yet, do I? And I'm like, we're gonna create a straight edge and hope for the best. And there we go. Scraps turned masterboard. Masterboards turned journaling cards and tags, and plopped them in their slots. So all I have to do now is decorate them. I do. That's next, guys. It's going through, I think, page by page and seeing what ephemera needs decorated, what needs to be done to the pages. I mean, there's just, I feel there's still some work to be done to this. I don't think there's ever a moment of stopping, but I do feel that we need a little bit more lace, like in the second half, off the edges. Some of the interactive pieces got more decorative, but I didn't like, not every page is good, or the journal cards need it, or, something needs it left and right to truly sell it for any decent price to someone who really just wants to enjoy. There is plenty of writing space on this thing, let alone the fact that every journal card can be written on. Every tag, every journal card, every pocket hopefully has something in it to write on. There are, 8+ pages, 6 to 8 pages of coffee dyed in between every interactive piece. So if there is a 2 or 3 fold interactive page set, there are 6 to 10 pages of coffee dyed right behind it. So it'll be interesting to see when I'm all said and done how many coffee dyed writing pages I have. Might watch, I only have like 30 coffee dyed pages that to write on. I'm like, seriously? No, I mean, I have, what did I say, 8, and 10. So I have 26 in the back alone. So no, I don't think I have 100, but I do feel I have hopefully at least the basic 60, that we sometimes work off of. So, okay, what is the width of this thing? I want 3 somewhat even. Journal cards. It is 11. And 11 doesn't go into 3 evenly. Or 3 doesn't go into 11 evenly. Ay, right? Here, I was just talking to my daughter about that. Let's see. It goes into there 3 times, which is 9. That's 2. Oh, my goodness. Bring that down to 0. So 2 and 0. That's 6 is 18. Again, it's 2. It's like 3.66. A little over 3.5. I'm like, nope. That's so not going to work. All right, I love that when you're like, oh, let me just keep going. So we'll have 1 at 3.5, 2 at probably 3.5, and 1 will be like 3 3/4. I can even try to fix this a little bit. It's not perfectly straight, so maybe let's see if there's anything. Take a smidge off. All right, there we go. Maybe not. All right. So the first one, upside down or not. Let's go 3.5. It's like 3.6, and it's like, I don't know, somewhere between the, I'm not even going to try. We're just going to do it 3.5 for the first one. Nice and tall, which I think that's going to be great in our newer section. 3.5. And we'll go over a smidge over 3.5 this time, right? And I think we have a large one we can work this one with. And why does that look very crooked? 3.5, who knows, right? Who knows? Let's do that. Maybe everything else is straight, haha. That's what I worry about, it's not straight somewhere else. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. We're not going to stress, I am just not. When you do, we'll just be here for a month of Sundays. 3.5 that way. That way. Oh yeah, that's so not straight. I'm looking at the 2 lines that are straight, and I'm like, yep, no. If those are straight, that is definitely not. You can tell it's wider than that one. So we're going to fix this side. We will fix that side then. Anyways, just hope that when you press it to the top that it does its job. So that'll help a little bit. Okay, I won't keep looking. I won't keep trying. This one, I could go upside down so I can decorate the top if no one wouldn't really mind. This would be prettier on the inside, so when you pull it up, it looks nice. But this is where we're going to cut, decor, and hide. All right. Only thing I have left to do is cut our massive tag tops. But let's see which ones I want to put where. Wah! And then I'll let you guys go if you guys haven't already. That one is wider. It is sort of neutral. I think we could have... Oh, it comes up a little bit. I may have to trim these off a little. Who knew? I like the idea of this one so I can really decorate it up here and give it some height. I don't know if it'll give us height because usually tags are great. It does give you the opportunity to put, what's the word? What's the word? Lace on the top. Now, I think this is a little bit more neutral. And I don't know if it matters which way we put this. I'll just have to decide which way I want to do it. But again, yeah, I think once we tab them and they're glued, they are sticking up a little bit. So we'll tab it. And it'll be a tab on the top. I don't have a lot. No, I do have some. I do have some side tabs and lace. I have a tab here. I have a tab here. So 2, 1 here and 1 back here. Perfect. We'll have some top tabs then. See, we'll have some. Right now, this one just happens to stick out. So we'll have some top, base cornered and whatnot tabs. I may trim a little off once I do the cornering. And then where's the other one? This back corner, right? Yes. Now that one is definitely teal. I may hide that. We may just decorate the top. You pull it out and you see a very bright page when you're done. That one's a very large one. Actually, hold on. Let me I think this one's a little wider. Is it the one that's a little wider? Barely. Okay. Well, wow. That came unglued. See, that's one problem. You start getting some really narrow pieces. You realize, oh wait, that wasn't as glued down as we thought, and you come up. Why not? Okay. Yes, there'll be a lot of reinforcement. A lot of reinforcement. Okay, let's tuck this one in here, and then that 201 is fine. There's other bits of blue in here, so this one we probably could get away with. This was such a neutral page. I really tried to keep it pretty neutral with what was behind it. There was only a speck of this floral right here, the green here, so I think we're okay with the coloring that we see. I love that we can see each other. Corner it, tag it, tab it, yeah, tag it, tab it. It's not a very deep. I need a deeper cut. I realize I don't have a deeper cut yet. I feel like we need a really big cut. Let's see if we like that. I have all these different... I took one of these and went, you know what? I'm tired of guessing at my tabs. So if we do there, it ends here, flip it around. Oh, that's actually pretty nice, actually, because for a really nice tabbed feel. I like that. For as big as this is, I think we can get away with it. Okay. You know, you're guessing. You really are. You're just like, oh, let me make this work. And I could make some of the other ones less, but I think because these are so big, it lets us put lace and a dangle-like thing across the top to stick out. That, I think we're going to be okay. Loving that, actually. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Beautiful, perfect. And I can just trim a little down if I feel it's just not quite where I was hoping for. You know, if it feels like it's sticking up too much. It is funny how it's all near the back of the page, back of the book. We have this one. Because at the time I liked the contrast, of course. This is, you know, blues and purples. This is sort of oranges and browns. I'm debating whether I want to leave it there, but I do have one. So it's not like I don't have one sticking up back here, over here. And that's not the first one. I think it's the second one. We do have it's a little unbalanced in some spots. We do have, well, no, we got that one there. So no, it's okay. Orange in the back, so we definitely want to make sure it's inked. It is sort of a bummer when our tags are on the left-hand side of your book. So all you see is the back side when you have the book closed. You're like, oh, well, that's not as fun. But we'll make sure that these guys are inked well in the back and that we do have maybe a little lace across the back top. That not just lace here, but we have some lace here. And of course, whatever's sticking out. So that the back side, more glue. This one, you know, I'm seeing brown, right? I'm seeing brown. So we're going to want to put lace here and ink. And of course, whatever's sticking out, more lace sticking out or whatever. We need to put some lace sticking out here. Maybe not that one. I think it's going to stay. But these are going to be more decorative tags. And they're going to have stuff sticking out. So that's just paperwork to tell me. So I think, you know, that's sort of our doohickeys here. And then our last one. Ooh, that's weird. In the back. I'm loving it. I could go one of these thinner, rounded, you know, smaller, like we did the front one. I could do that too. I could just round it like we did this one to have sort of that same feel. So I feel like we have 2 and 2. That's not a bad idea. Of course, I don't have my rounder on me. So, okay, I'll have to remember to round this one and not large round. Do the larger round, 1/2 inch rounded corners from the We Are collection, so that it gives us that other feel. So maybe that will help too, that we have something a little different. Ta-da. Okay, there we go. 2 8.5 by 11 cardstock parchment papers, large scraps from all of the cutting of this. Do all these corners and these scraps and these cutoffs, and you know, like this one, I collaged it here. These were papers that I actually cut a triangle to match and wrapped underneath and then just glued accordingly. This one, I only glued the corner to tuck in a full piece of paper. This one, I glued it down the middle after tucking it in, so I have 2 pockets, top and bottom. This paper got folded, so like all these little pieces, I did not go paper top to bottom. I only covered what I absolutely necessarily needed, so there's extra paper. Everything has extra paper, right? That one, luckily, blended, but they don't always. Like, I'm 10 to 1 gonna have another strip when I'm done here. Gosh darn it. I'm like, I'm gonna have a small strip left over. There's nothing I can do about it. But we end up with this as we're fussy cutting things out, and as we are cutting in sections that we need, or we're creating cute little doohickeys, you know, corner here. If I could, I went from one end to the next and tried to not leave anything left over. And if there was a corner left over, you know, I tried to use it on the next possible piece. Like this is all scraps from one of the other cuts from somewhere else. So it has definitely been a cut it, use it again, use it again. And, you know, we have to do something with it. So I'm stoked to be using so many pieces of my kits. I have a number of kits here that blend well together. And I'm so happy that I've been able to put a very eclectic but fun botanical floral collaged altered book together, right? Filled it with ephemera, filled it with coffee dyed papers. We're going to get some more goo, some more digital, more embellishments. We have some lace here, so now we need to do a little bit more lace back here. Definitely get some lace on some pages here, whether it's on the coffee dyed pages, whether it's on the decorative pages. Like this, totally could put lace on it because there's not much going on. You know, we're going to have some moments where I think, you know, yeah, let's put lace here, let's put lace over here. We're going to extend that look everywhere we can and really enjoy the last bits of this lovely book. But it's almost done, ladies and gentlemen. I keep saying that it's almost done, but this is definitely closer. So 26 more pages of coffee dyed, which I can get done hopefully in the blink of an eye. One more continuous page, a couple decorative. And I think that's it. But then it's just decorating ephemera. So maybe we'll go through another day where we'll just go through one page after another and try to not think much about it and pop up lace, pop on embellishments, next page, lace embellishments, you know, what fussy cuts do we have? And see if we can finish out the book. That might be next week. We're going to just decorate all the ephemera that I did just cut out. I wish I could do better ASMR ones. It doesn't work. it'd be great to be able to just sit here and just like work through it, right? And you guys can just hear music in the background or just hear me making noise, but that would take forever. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching me do another set of masterboards and collaging as we try to finish up and fill in the last of the pockets, woohoo, of our journal, so that we can just finish decorating and covering and being all done with it. So thank you all very much, and I will talk to you all real soon. Bye-bye.